hyperdrive now.
We are racing for the planet. At extreme locations. Where quality is true and a legacy is left. We pioneer new technologies and we push them to the limit. Extreme E is back.
Hello and welcome to Season 4 of Extreme E.
The all-electric off-road championship is back and once again racing in extreme locations around the world while highlighting the key ecological issues facing those environments and their communities.
Technology is a key focus of the championship. The paddock is packed full of innovation and the series provides a dynamic testbed for emergent technologies to combat the climate crisis.
Over the last 3 seasons, we have seen some of the best off-road racing action of the modern era, backed up with full gender equality behind the wheel. The grid is packed with elite drivers and teams, all taking on the toughest wheel-to-wheel racing in motorsport.
I'm Jenny Gow, and alongside me is Andrew Coley, with Laura Winter reporting from the paddock for the Desert Prix in Saudi Arabia.
Before we get underway with round 2 in Jeddah, here's all you need to know about Extreme E. Extreme E is a fully electric off-road racing championship consisting of 8 world-class teams made up of 1 male and 1 female driver. In each session, both drivers will compete behind the wheel of the Odyssey 21 electric SUV, with a driver changeover, the switch, halfway through. Each driver gets an Innova hyperdrive boost in every session. There are bonus points for the fastest team through the Continental Traction Challenge part of the course. First up, it's qualifying, where everybody races twice in a bid to finish as high as possible in the qualifying standings. Then it's time to earn some championship points. From qualifying, the bottom 4 teams go into the redemption race, while the top 4 proceed to the grand final and compete to win the Prix and lift the trophy. Yes! It's a season-long battle. 10 rounds, 1 champion. So round 2 of Extreme E just moments away in Saudi Arabia, but first, here's a look back at yesterday's action. Some familiar lineups, some new ones. Veloce, of course, same drivers as last year. Kevin Hansen, Molly Taylor, Carlos Sainz there looking on at Ekstrom, who'd left his squad, but Fraser McConnell has joined it. Christina Gutierrez heading to McLaren as well, and this was the first sign of the genius of Matthias Ekstrom and the McLaren squad working together. Watch this, he goes out really wide. Everybody else has used their Innova hyperdrive. Look how far off course he is. No tracks out in the sand out there. Cuts back in, now he uses the hyperdrive, 400 kilowatts of extra power to slide up the inside of his old rallycross rival, Johan Kristoffersson, and take the lead. An absolutely brilliant move, which I'm sure we'll see again today. Now it's been revealed, and of course the wily McLaren squad leaving that reveal until the most crucial moment, the start of the final. Now Kristoffersson obviously wasn't going to let Ekstrom have it all his own way. Took him an entire lap to find a way up the inside, but he did slide the RXR machine up in turn 2, the end of the first lap, and Ekstrom would then hustle him with Kevin Hansen in behind. Look how close these 3 cars were. Laia Sanz wasn't far off the back either for the Acciona Sainz squad. Of course, 2 laps for each of the drivers, then the switch zone, and then a further 2 laps to finish things off. Here is the switch. Kristoffersson, Ekstrom, Hansen. Hansen handing over to Molly Taylor. She plugs in her comms. We were hearing lots of fantastic radio chatter yesterday. Ekstrom out, Gutierrez in, leading. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski was here in the RXR, and you can see behind, still super close. Now, these 3 got in a battle. At this point, Fraser McConnell was about 10 seconds back, desperately trying to close that gap down to the front pack. And with the squabbling that was going on, they were slowing each other up just a little bit. But my goodness me, it was just such a fantastic race. Bit of contact here. Gutierrez flying over the crest and hit the back of the RXR machine. No damage other than to the bodywork. Tried everything, trying to go right, trying to go left. In the end, she did a great pass up at the hairpin, again with a tiny bit of contact. Look at the roost off the back of the cars. You're on board here with Gutierrez, who looks like she's on a Sunday afternoon drive. Slots up the inside across the smooth sand, comes in late, leans on the RXR just a little bit and makes the pass. In the background, Fraser McConnell had caught up, but unfortunately, in trying to pass Molly Taylor, just got caught out by the ruts, and a soft roll for the Acciona Sainz squad. Imagine if it had been a four-way fight, it was good enough with just the three. So Arlen Kotlinski, having just been passed, found some brilliant pace on this long straight run up the hill. She slides back up the inside of Gutierrez. And you can hear the radio call saying she's inside, keep pushing, and Arlen Kotlinski took the lead back again. So the lead swapping 4 times, absolutely fantastic. Coming up towards the finish line, and it was a win for RXR with Gutierrez so close behind for Neil McLaren.
Yes! 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 Well done, Michaela. Good job. Well done.
Nice job, everyone. Right, nice job. Really good job.
Thank you. Thanks. Good fight. Good fight. Thank you.
Amazing stuff. These were the results. P4 with the DNF, Sanz and McConnell for Acciona Sainz. Hansen and Taylor get P3 for Ion Veloce. Ekstrom and Gutierrez 0.16 for second back, but a win for the champions, RXR. Our dust-up in the desert has been a thriller so far, but away from the paddock, the drivers have been taking the plunge in the name of Extreme E's legacy project, caring for coral reefs.
Today we're going diving to see the corals here in the Red Sea, and it's a very special ocean because it's so warm here. So the corals are very unique and are surviving. We're in the university here in Jeddah, and they're doing loads of research on these corals, so that's what we're gonna look at. It will be a great experience.
We're here with Cordap Coast and Ocean Revive, learning about the importance of reef health, coral health, and also planting some coral as well.
We are going to do scuba diving. We are going to replant some corals and watching the technique and trying to do it. It's good to have this opportunity to learn and understand a little bit more about these beautiful animals.
We're about to jump in the water. I'm snorkeling. I'll be on shark watch. Apparently this reef is called Shark Reef, so I'll be on the lookout for any visitors.
Here he is. We have corals that we grow in land-based nurseries. And today we're going to outplant some of them in the reef just to show a quick and innovative way how to do it that we developed here at KAUST. So corals are tremendously important. They are ecosystem engineers, so they build reefs similar to the trees in the rainforest. If we don't have the trees, we don't have the rainforest. That's the same for corals. So a lot of people depend on them for fisheries, tourism, and also for coastal protection. If we lose local reefs, we have to reverse engineer them for coastal protection. A lot of the storms that come in are hampered off tremendously by coral reefs.
The coral reefs of the Red Sea rank amongst the best in terms of conservation status across the ocean, but yet we are seeing the fingerprint of climate change impacting on the coral reefs. Shark Reef has lost about half of the living coral cover due to a bleaching event last year. Through the Legacy project, Extreme E and the drivers of Extreme E are helping replant, and so we wish to secure a future for coral reefs, not just for us, but for our children and our grandchildren.
We saw so many beautiful corals and fish, and it was just vibrating with life. The only way to save them is really by this research and by common knowledge, and that we need to protect them. So what we can provide as drivers and Extreme E is just the awareness. You can't get sustainable unless people know about it and unless people, just kind of appreciate the value of the nature that we got out there.
Time for the action to get underway with qualifying for round 2. Q1 saw Travis Pastrana in the very first race up against 3 of the best female drivers in Extreme E. Used to see Noah hyperdrive very well indeed on the run to the first corner. Shut the door on everyone. Molly Taylor tried the extra line from yesterday. Got caught up behind Gutierrez in the McLaren. come the switch. Pastrana was coming in hot, but unfortunately, Gray Ledbetter left the switch zone slightly early. Look at this, Pastrana not quite clear of that area. She went early, and that would mean the team would get a penalty, which would drop them down the order. She didn't know that at the time, had a fantastic battle with double Extreme E champion Johan Kristoffersson, who did manage to get past in the end. Kristoffersson wins. Great start for RXR after their win yesterday.
Well done, everyone. Good job.
On to the second race. Fraser McConnell leading off the start, side by side in the background. Look at this. Timo Scheiner and Timmy Hansen with contact in the air between the Sun Mini Racing and the Andretti Autokilit machine. Very close together. Two-wheel bicycling by both cars. Here, look at this, just hanging on. Hansen would make the move on the run down into the hairpin. Barely a gap between the two cars. He goes late on the brakes, but just a nice block pass on Scheider. So McConnell came into the switch zone in the lead, handing it over to Laia Sanz. He jumps out, she jumps in, 45 seconds to make that driver switch happen. Big pressure on Sanz from Katie Munnings for the whole of her run, but she does hold on for the win for Acciona Sainz in Q1. Great drive by her and McConnell. Stay with us, qualifying 2 coming up after the break. Welcome back to the Desert X Prix for round 2 of the 2024 Extreme E Championship. Time now for the highlights of the second qualifying session in Jeddah. Okay then, let's get things underway, shall we? Here is the grid for Q2, race 1. We've got Andretti Autokilit, Veloce, JBXE and Neil McLaren. And away we go. Good start on the outside. Munnings uses the hyperdrive pretty early. Everybody else does. Ekstrom's waiting again, so I suspect this is a repeat of yesterday's line. He wants it on the exit. He's gone out wide. Watch for Matthias Ekstrom now. They're side by side on the inside line. Molly Taylor bursts out and Kevin Hansen bursts through the middle. Now, watch for Ekstrom on the hyperdrive. 400 kilowatts. It is a carbon copy of yesterday. Straight into the whole shot in turn 2. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant start. He's right on board now with Matthias Ekstrom, looks in his mirrors, checks left twice to see how close they are. Everybody's used the Yanoa hyperdrive. Kevin Hansen is going to keep that pressure on Ekstrom now. I've got Patrick O'Donovan again on site. Patrick, another perfect execution by Ekstrom.
Yeah, of course, another masterclass there by Ekstrom into turn 1. Absolute, as you said.
Oh, Kevin on the inside. Sorry to interrupt, Patrick. Kevin having a look. He can't quite get there, though. Go on, Patrick, carry on, my bad.
No worries, I was going to say, yeah, Kevin Hansen only under half a second off Matthias is not going to let him get away with that. He's going to be pushing to try and make a move anywhere he can before he goes into the switch zone, spots for Molly.
Well, we saw him try there, didn't we, on that long braking zone into the left-hander, not quite enough. There is your target if you're on board with Kevin Hansen. Hansen tries that wide line. We've seen that from Andretti and from RXR earlier on today, just to get out on the smooth line and try and find a bit of extra grip. Katie Munnings still in touch with these. Remember, it's 2 laps for each of the drivers before they go into the switch zone. Patrick, I'm guessing you'll have been out and done some passenger rides since we last spoke to you. What are track conditions like?
Yeah, of course, the track's slowly degrading. It's holding up a lot better than it was yesterday, but there's some really deep ruts there. Just actually at the crest they've just gone over, turn 2, so the right-hander just before they got up over the crest, and the same with waypoint 13 and 17. Really starting to build up a bank on the outside, and yeah, if you go a little bit too wide, there could be a little bit of a difficult corner. Perhaps we could see some cars going up on 2 wheels or even further than that.
Okay, thank you, mate. Fantastic update. Championship driver Patrick O'Donovan joins us for qualifying. Let's have another look at this from Ekstrom. Out wide, look in tight, and it's about now that he uses the Yanoa hyperdrive. Look at the acceleration in the car. You can actually see the difference. Fantastic execution. Just you could see it coming a mile off. You think he's never going to get away with it again. Look at this from outside. Outside, there's the pack. Inside, hyperdrive. And there it is. You heard the RPM come up. You actually hear the wheelsman as he taps the button straight into the lead. So yeah, bang on, 2 times in a row. Patrick, do you use the hyperdrive on passenger rides? I guess maybe not so much if you're trying to get as many rides in as you can for battery duration.
Yeah, no, we tend to not use them as much as we could do, but of course when we're doing the course development before the weekend gets underway and we're doing some testing with the car, we try a few different points there. Generally, like I said, drivers tend to use them off the start to try and get track position before they head into the switch zone, and then during the heats it's the most important time to use it is the Continental Traction Challenge. Of course, when you get to the final, it's all about trying to make use of position. If you need them for an overtake on the straight, then that's probably a really, really good place to use it. Is anywhere there's a long straight into a heavy braking zone, it's important to be carrying as much speed as you can. And if you can carry more speed into the corner, of course, harsher braking, and you can just try and edge ahead into a position.
Well, talking of edging ahead into a position, the Veloce machine has got past the McLaren in the switch zone, according to when they were leaving. Need a wider shot to see where it is. There it is, it's out front. So the Veloce machine got past the McLaren. 2 of the cars have used their Yanoa hyperdrive already. Veloce's still got theirs to deploy. So Molly Taylor might use that to try and get a bit of a gap on the cars behind. She'll hope that they get a scrap and hold each other up. Now Molly Taylor uses the 400 kilowatts of power. Timmy Hansen, watch him. Andretti Tequila go for the outside line. Tries to carry the speed. Lena Gade on the radio saying Gutierrez, he's outside. She blocks him. Runs the car wide. Hansen goes up to the inside line now to cut back. Can he get on the exit power just a little bit earlier here? But Gutierrez gets sideways again. He is all over. He's nailed onto the back of that car. Lena Gade saying stay left, stay left. The Veloce machine in front as well. Gutierrez will have one eye on that. Timmy Hansen backs it in from outside. This is where Fraser McConnell rolled yesterday. Veloce and Molly Taylor kicks up high over that crest. 0.66, 1.45 between the top 3 cars. Nothing in Hansen, up the inside, gets it done this time. Gutierrez leaves just a car's width. And he slides through, and they're telling Timmy, focus forward, look at Molly in front of you, ignore what's behind you, go for what's in front. All kicking off here. Here we go then, is this going to be the move? Going late on the brakes, coming up for the outside line again. This is where he tried on Gutierrez earlier on. Going to try and get alongside Molly Taylor. Taylor's going to go defensive. Hansen now should get a great exit through here. Could be able to line her up. She parks it on the apex. He's going to get alongside her, side by side, but Taylor now has the inside line with a hairpin at the end of this straight. Timmy's going to go very late on the brakes and try and squeeze her, maybe. No, gives her more room. So Taylor's going to go early and defensive. Hansen's going to try and cut back underneath. Oh, it's side by side, and this time it's done. Timmy Hansen with a move through 2 different corners. Brilliant drive for the Andretti Tequila team to take the lead. He moves up 2 positions. Taylor frowns at having lost the space in front of her. Gutierrez in behind in P3. Achilles drops some 24 seconds off the back, so 3-car race with 1.4 between them and just a few sectors still to go. Out wide now for Gutierrez as she searches for any way to try and get past Taylor. They need a good result, don't they? Where were they in the first one? They had a P3 in the first one, so Neil McLaren could be in danger of not making it here unless they make the pass on the Veloce. Gutierrez and Taylor side by side. It's a brilliant last gasp move. 2 wheels on Gutierrez. In front, Timmy Hansen going to take this for Andretti Tequila, but will that be enough for the McLaren team to make it through? It's a win for Andretti Tequila. Gutierrez nicks it just before the line. Will that drag them into the final, and the Veloce ends up P3. Relief for Katie Munnings. That was a hell of a race. Right, here we go. From left to right, you've got Legacy Motor Club on the inside line. Then we've got Sun Mini Mill Racing, Rosberg X Racing, and Acciona Sainz extremely on the far outside. So Laia Sanz is in for Acciona Sainz. She gets a good start. You see the car squat down when they pick up the grip. Kristoffersen in for RXR has gone out wide as well. So Johan Kristoffersen and Laia Sanz looking at a very similar move. They're both going to make the car back from the outside. Can they both make an undercut? The car's in front of them. They get parked at the apex. There's no way through for Laia at the back. Johan has to check up, just gets alongside, contact between Sun, Mini-Meal there, and I think it's Gray Ledbetter it was, yes, so contact between them. And now Johan parks at the apex as they head up to the crest at number 3. Small jumps for everyone, super low speed through that second sector. And that's where people are just playing tactics, trying to make sure nobody gets past them on the exit. Ledbetter getting past Clara Anderson here on the inside line, just got to hold on to that. Clara will try and go the long way round there. Johan leads, sprays Laia Sanz behind with the dirt. If RXR continue where they are, it will be another top qualifier. 2 TQs in a row. It would be absolutely epic, wouldn't it? Acciona Sainz would be making it, and actually McLaren wouldn't make it at the minute based on the Continental Traction Challenge. They would lose the split to Ion Veloce, even though they passed them in that last race. So, wow, that just shows you how important the Traction Challenge is. There's your countdown into drive and go. You mustn't put it into drive. That's how they do it on the data, is how long the car is in neutral for. It must remain in neutral for 45 seconds. There's Fraser McConnell, and that's his target in front.
Go, go, go!
That's the go, 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 and that's for Travis Pastrana.
So it's 5 seconds, get them.
It's 5 seconds, get them. It's Fraser McConnell spotter talking to him. Get the drivers, get the seconds, either way, same difference. Travis Pastrana 2 seconds off the back of Fraser McConnell. They've done battle many times this year already in Nitrocross. Now, of course, this is Fraser McConnell's home territory in Extreme E. He's done more time in his car than Travis, but Travis at the minute is the quickest driver in the Continental Traction Challenge. Yesterday had a quick sector time. This morning was quickest in all the sectors on one of his runs. So it's taken him not much time to get used to this Odyssey 21 machine and the Extreme E series. Dust's kicking up a bit now offline. So visibility not quite so good. Pastrana bicycles twice in a row. He is risking it. So Travis Pastrana, he's taking some risks here to try and close the gap down. Fraser McConnell in front of him. 6.8. McConnell's lost time to Arlen Kotlinski in front. That gap's gone up. Now it's come down by just a tenth. And Fraser will know that Travis is just behind him. Travis Pastrana uses the Anoa hyperdrive. Going to try and go on the inside line. 400 kilowatts of power. Going to get alongside Fraser McConnell. Backing in from a long way back. Opposite lock. On the lock stop. Pastrana just holds onto the car. And McConnell just holds onto the position. Wow. So Pastrana must find a way through, remember, for him. So McConnell is perfectly safe where he is. They had a win, and in P2, he'll definitely make the final. He won't want to drop down to third. Pastrana has another look up the inside line. This time he might get it done. And looking across to the left, McConnell knows that Pastrana's there. There he is. Travis Pastrana has made the pass. He's made the pass. We were on board there, and you saw McConnell looking across. Pastrana stuck up the inside. Now McConnell's got a P1 and a P3. Acciona Sainz. We'll have a look at how it stands on the points in a moment and see if that affects whether or not they make the final. Over the crests, up the hill towards the top. Now Pastrana's next target is Rosberg X Racing, 6.3 seconds up the road, so he will need to continue to take the risk. As it stands, it would still be the same, so they would still make it. So it's still about that 14-point split between Ion Veloce and McLaren. Neil McLaren, seeing Neil McLaren just miss out. We said to him, there's 5 teams that are bang on the pace at the minute. Pastrana wouldn't have enough, even if he finishes where he does, if he gets another. Whoa! 2 wheels again! Travis Pastrana is left open-mouthed at that one. Goodness me, I mean, we know he's a 2-wheel specialist, but he spent half this lap on 2 wheels, it seems. Incredible. Patrick, it's great to see Travis in full attack mode here.
Yeah, of course, it's never too late. You never know what could happen. RXR could have an absolute nightmare in the last closing corners, and you never know. If Travis is close enough, he might be able to just pit them across the line. So, of course, he's going to be pushing as hard as he can. Fraser behind him will be pushing too, but maybe not as much. The team will know and will have told Fraser that he's going to be making the final as long as he stays in P3 here. So he won't be trying to take any risks. He won't be trying to make a mistake or have a crash. So, you know, I think it's pretty set in stone for Fraser. However, Travis will be pushing as hard as he can to close that gap to the RXR.
Yeah, and that, of course, is why a win in one of these sections is so important. Coming into this race with 10 points from a win in Q1, Acciona Sainz know they can lower the risk. You come into it with lower points and you've got to go absolutely flat out, and that's what Travis Pastrana is doing just in front. Fraser will have his eyes on him, but we'll know the job is done. But the job is done out front as well, because Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski is bringing the Rosberg X Racing machine through the final checkpoints towards the finish line, and she's going to jump over this crest and pass the board to take 2 wins in a row and another top qualifier spot for RXR. They won yesterday, they were TQ yesterday, they're TQ again today. So RXR make the cut with Kristoffersson, Arlen-Kotlinski. So do Andretti, Autokilit. They weren't in the final yesterday, and today they are. Fraser McConnell and Laia Sanz. And today, look, it's Kevin Hansen and Molly Taylor who make it for Ion Veloce. Ekstrom and Gutierrez, who were in that fight yesterday for the win, are not going to make it through to the final today. That is how competitive it is. And of course, Ekstrom and Pastrana will finally get a chance to race each other later on today in the redemption race. So we'll see how that goes. Plenty more action to come from the Desert X Prix. Welcome back to round 2 of Extreme E from Jeddah in Saudi Arabia, where we're diving straight into the action. Get ready for the redemption race at the Desert X Prix.
Let me take you through the grid. So we've got Chimo Scheider lining up Sun Mini Meals. Then Neil McLaren, you've got Christina Gutierrez, Daniel Akil for JBXC, and Travis Pastrana in Legacy MC.
Timo Scheider on the outside gets a good start straight away. Everybody except Scheider has used their Renault hyperdrive, so Scheider we can only assume is going for the extra move. He'll try and cut back. Heads right out wide. Gutierrez is on the extra line too, but coming around the outside line. Contact! Dania Akil goes straight over in the JBXC machine. So Akil is out in turn 1. She rolls the car after contact. Andreas backward. Unfortunately, the smile is gone. The red flag is out straight away. Ah, that's a bit of a bummer. So red flag. Everybody going to head back slowly. She went over. It was a soft roll. It's in the sand. She will be fine. I'm absolutely certain of that. Oh, what a shame.
Tell us what happened.
Yeah, so, you see, she just wasn't expecting Gutierrez to come in from the outside. To be fair, Gutierrez shut the door on Dania Akil, but Akil maybe won't have been across those high-speed moves coming in. Yeah, Gutierrez took the extra line, but the apex was blocked, and she had enough pace to try and go around the outside. So she sort of slotted in across the front. Here we go, here's another angle. Look how far out wide she is. She's going to be hoping that they all check up a bit more. And oh, it's the tiniest of contacts, but it's wheel on wheel, and that puts a lot of energy into the car straight away. We are thankfully going for a straight restart. It happened very quickly at the start of the race, that we've cleared everything up nice and fast as well. And we're going to go for a straight restart off the line here.
So they'll get 1 lap, come into the switch, and then the other driver will take over and do 2 laps. So that's a 3-lap race, starting with 1 lap for the current drivers at the restart.
Take 2, let's go. green light. Big reaction time on both sides of the grid. Timo Scheider and Travis Pastrana. Pastrana, look at the nose of the car rise when he used the Anoa hyperdrive. He's got one lap. He's keen to get it done. Timo Scheider squeezing for the outside. Gutierrez moves to the inside line in the Neon McLaren. She comes through turn one. Pitches almost up onto two wheels. Just about holds on Scheider. Going to pass her on the exit though. Timo Scheider with a wider entry. Now looking to the inside line of Travis Pastrana. Pastrana for Legacy Motor Club. Up and over the crest. Gets the whole shot in this one. Timo Scheider in close behind. And Cristina Gutierrez in P3. Jenny?
There's a whole load of sand and mud just picking up, and you really can't see if you're second and third. And you don't know when it's going to come. It's like a sandball just kicking up in front of you.
Yeah, and you can see where the track is dry as well, that the dust keeps up a bit more. I think the biggest thing for me is the lack of momentum. When you hit a rut badly, Johan said yesterday, didn't he, you can gain half a second, but often you lose a second. Two wheels again for Gutierrez. So the rut's coming later today than they did yesterday. Travis Pastrana with a 2.2-second lead. I'm just looking down to see who's going to be in the car. So he wants to hand over, remember, to Gray Ledbetter.
Gutierrez going round the outside of the Sun Mini Mills car. Can she make the car stick? No, it's not quite there for her this time, but she'll try the inside. Not there either.
She's taking some risks, isn't she? Up on two wheels a minute to go.
That's good, Cristina. Keep pushing him. Keep pushing him.
So he's saying keep pushing him. She wants the pressure applied to Timo Scheider in front. It's one of the very dry sections of the track. The wind, thankfully, clearing the dust from the drivers behind. Pastrana now with a 3.4-second lead. So he wants to give Gray Ledbetter the best chance possible. Imagine if they come home with a win in the redemption race. It's a win. At the end of the day, he will be really, well, he'll be partly pleased because it will mean he's beaten Matthias Ekstrom. but it would be a great start for Legacy Motor Club, wouldn't it, to take a race win here?
Yeah, you don't want to come into the new championship and just turn around at the end and make up the numbers.
No.
Travis Pastrana and Jimmy Johnson team up with Gray Ledbetter. You want to come in with a bang, and they are doing just that.
They definitely are. They come in with a bang on the timesheets, that's for sure. Both have been impressing us. One lap down, they're going to be coming into the switch zone at the end of this one. We're going to have a catch-up with Christine GZ while they do. So, GZ, they're heading into the switch now. What are you thinking about the track conditions? We've seen a few cars up on two wheels. I know you've been out doing some of the rides because we've been borrowing Patrick to do the commentary. So, coming in hot in the background. Gutierrez just gets it stopped. Yeah, what are the track conditions like, GZ?
Yeah, I was actually out before, like you said, with the VIP laps, and I actually was able to do one with the Odyssey, so I really have the feeling of it. The ruts were huge, and like exactly where Cristina was on two-wheel, between 5 to 7. The holes are really, really big. Oh, look, something coming down.
Yeah, it's just the light. The light, that was from the contact actually on the first lap of the first race. It was hanging down on the start grid, I noticed. Travis gets the car into neutral, opens up the door. He'll climb out now. Said, if you're not familiar, remember he had a knee replacement about 6 weeks ago, which is just unbelievable. He was on a bike exercising it the 2 or 3 days afterwards. On his Instagram, just desperately trying to get some movement back in. He's had a lot of major surgeries from a life spent having it, properly sending it. On two wheels, 4, jumping out of planes without parachutes. He's a wild, wild man.
45 seconds is all they get for the switch zone. And I know he felt like he was letting the team down by not doing it quickly enough. So we're working on that. And it's just something that, unfortunately, has to happen. Oh, you can see he's hopping and just trying to get... He has to be clear of that zone. And he is clear, and now they're going, go, go, go.
Did you hear the beep there? So they've got a timer with an audible beep, and you actually heard the beep and sent her off. So fingers crossed that's a nice, clean changeover. Saw Travis, as Jenny said, running out, and good to see. So they are in the lead by, what was it? It was 4.0 when they came in.
Do you think that Sun Mini Mills car is okay? It's vibrating a lot.
Well, so I've noticed this a few times with the McLaren actually at slow speed over the bumps, and quite often these cars, any competition car, don't work that well going slowly. they just chatter about because the impacts they're used to are much harder. So when you start leaning on the car and using it properly, it works. Oh, look at this. Already, Ekstrom jumping to the inside line, trying to find a way past Clara Anderson. So Clara Anderson trying to defend. Ekstrom goes ultra long in the McLaren. Look into the inside now. They're saying push, push, push. Is he inside Clara Anderson coming into the left-hander at turn 5? He is. So Ekstrom is making short work here, or trying to, but Clara Anderson's not going to let him have that. No way. She fights back for Sun Mini Mills. Ekstrom, look at him. Looks like he's on a Sunday afternoon drive. And yet he's pushing really hard. He's teed her up through 2 corners now. Watch out in the background who get a good exit to the inside line here. very wet there to try and keep the dust down.
Do you know what? We've seen this before from Clara. She's absolutely magic and making the moves and trying to make it as wide as possible. Is there a way through for Ekstrom here? Yes, it seems like he has done it, but can Clara fight back?
They both used their Inoa hyperdrive there. They hit the button at almost exactly the same point. So he's already had an update now. Look at Gutierrez, she's shaking her head. So why is she shaking her head?
Yeah, 1 second.
Really, she's disappointed. Christina Gutierrez is really disappointed, but I can't see what for, so... OK, out front, Gray Ledbetter has a gap of 5 seconds over Matthias Ekstrom. I've said it a few times today, but Gray is 19 years old. She's an experienced off-road racer, but behind her is a World Rallycross champion, a double DTM champion, a multiple winner of the Racer Champions, and Travis Pastrana's greatest rival, it seems. He said, whatever happens, do not let the orange car pass. So let's see. He would love this. He would absolutely love this if Gray can hold on to the position. She's got to do it for a whole nother lap after this.
And that pressure seems to be really inspiring her, moving her, letting her get to the best of her ability. So some people, that pressure can really mount and take its toll, but on her, she seems to be flying high and really enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Look at Travis, there he is in the command centre. She's got just 2/3 of a lap to go, 2/3 of a lap to go. The gap is 1.6 seconds. Can Ledbetter hold on? Ekstrom closing down the gap now. He's very accurate on the flag on the inside. The gap's down to 0.9. He takes 6/10 off her in that section there. Goes back up to a second. Now he's out wide, look, on the sand. Ledbetter, look at the speed he's carrying into here. Gray Ledbetter on the inside line comes through with a lot of pace. Ekstrom's going to get a good exit.
And Ledbetter used her Inoa hyperdrive there just to defend again.
So did she get it on the exit? Well, so on the exit, no, maybe on the way in. You only get 4 seconds, so you want to try and use that on the exit of a corner if you can. Ekstrom tucked in tight behind. We've got about 7 sectors still to go to get to the end of the lap. Here we go, through the left-hander. You're on board with Ekstrom. Can he get past Gray Ledbetter at the end of this lap? She's just got enough. It's 1.1 second. It'll be the really, really high-speed braking zones that Ekstrom will try at. This could be one at the top of the hill. I'm not sure he's going to be close enough.
This is the end of the Continental Traction Challenge, and I tell you what, Gray is holding on for dear life, and she's doing a really good job.
Look at Travis. Oh, but watch in the top corner of your screen. Coming through, trying to make his way. Going to go wide and tight. Gray Ledbetter just holding on. Ledbetter moves to the inside line. She's doing this.
Yes, girl,
oh, come on, Gray. Hold him off, hold him off. Oh, now Ekstrom moves to the inside, and he's got her past in the final corner.
Can she go the cut back?
Just loses out, maybe.
Come on. This is going to go right to the end.
Over the line, Ekstrom just holds on, but Gray Ledbetter at 19 years old, 0.6 of a second behind.
Good job.
Absolutely brilliant.
Go to the stop sign.
Unlucky for Travis, he hugs Christina Gutierrez. Fantastic race between those. Oh, Gray, don't be disappointed. You have done yourself proud, and everyone is impressed. Absolutely brilliant stuff from our new team, Legacy Motor Club.
Right, this was the results. JBXC didn't finish, unfortunately. Daniel Akil is actually at the medical centre at the moment. Sun Mini Mills in third, second Travis Pastrana and Gray Ledbetter, just 0.69 seconds behind Matthias Ekstrom and Christina Gutierrez, who won the redemption race.
With the redemption race run, it's nearly time for the main event at the Desert X Prix. We will be back with the grand final in just a few moments. Welcome back to Extreme from Jeddah, where it's time for the grand final of the Desert X Prix.
This is the grid. Acciona Sainz with Fraser McConnell at the wheel. Then it's Andretti Altequila with Timmy Hansen at the wheel. RXR alongside them, Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski. A perfect weekend so far for that team. Can they keep it up? And Veloce, car 5 with Molly Taylor at the wheel.
We are literally seconds away. McConnell's got the car loaded up. He's looking across. There'll be no blinking now until they get away. Fraser McConnell on the inside line with Timmy Hansen next to him. They'll be looking to hold off Arlen-Kotlinski and Molly Taylor. Will they go wide and try the extra line or not? There you can see Noah hyperdrives from everyone except Arlen-Kotlinski, who's going to hang back at the back of the pack. 2 cars wide, 3 cars wide. I thought Molly Taylor goes up the inside and Timmy Hansen. There is 0 visibility at the back of the pack there. Arlen-Kotlinski uses the Noah hyperdrive now on the run down to the next corner, gets inside. Oh, manages 1 pass. That was late on the hyperdrive, but she did manage to get past Molly Taylor. But it's Fraser McConnell who leads at the moment for Acciona Sainz P2. It's Timmy Hansen for Andretti Altequila, and an enormous jump, almost on the nose for Arlen-Kotlinski. That came down hard. I thought she might go end over end, but she's got away with it. She's absolutely sending it out there.
The conditions out there, though, are really tough, and you can see RXR slipping back a bit. Have they got a problem with the car? That was a massive jump.
Yeah, it really was a heavy landing. I thought the same thing, Jenny. When they drop the pace just slightly, you do wonder, don't you? The Veloce chrome works well in the sun, doesn't it, in terms of flashing the car behind? The other teams will be looking at that and seeing if they can make it work. McConnell with a 1.6-second lead for Acciona Sainz at the moment. Timmy Hansen in close behind. 2 laps each, remember, for these drivers, thanks to not having a red flag at the start of this one. Yesterday's winners at the back of the pack at the minute, but 4 seconds separating the 4 cars, all still to play for.
Yeah, Acciona Sainz at the top of the standings at the moment. McConnell with a 1 second 30, but that gap is getting closed down. Timmy Hansen doing a great job at the moment behind the wheel.
Molly Taylor now 3.5. There's only 4.5 across that top 4. Everybody's used their Renault hyperdrive. Remember, the second drivers are much more likely to save it. Fraser McConnell's just gone quickest in sector number 2 in this one. There you're taking a look at Carlos Sainz. McConnell's team boss, Laia Sanz, now leaves the Vodafone Business Command Centre and heads up to the switch zone. It's only a short walk, but you want to be out there. You don't want to be out of breath. You want to be fully focused, ready for that 45-second split. Christine GZ is down on site for us. GZ, what's your thoughts? It's looking tricky out there.
Yeah, pretty tricky. Also, Michaela's move was really amazing. I was expecting her to stay at the front. I'm very impressed also about Molly, how she moved back on. So I think it's great. I mean, of course, let's see what happens now.
Yeah, indeed. Still 2 laps to go here. Well, 2 laps after the switch, sorry, up to the finish line and around.
Do you know, I was listening earlier to what Patrick O'Donovan said to you.
Yes.
He said turns 2, 13 and 17. The bank is forming and making it really treacherous. And these are some of the most treacherous turns, and that jump with its landing as well. The car's doing a really good job, the Audi 21, but you have to be aware that those are the points, the pressure points that you need to keep it clean.
Listen to that. I love the rise of the RPM as they come up. You hear the electric motors rise right up in the RPM as they clear the crest, and the weight comes off the Continental tyres and they just spin up. The front 2 now, McConnell and Hansen have managed to put a bit of a gap in. It's 4 seconds back to Molly Taylor for Veloce, and then a further 1.5 back to Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski at the back. Is the RXR machine carrying any damage from that jump landing? It was one of the biggest jumps of the weekend. There should be an award for that, really, shouldn't there?
Yes.
There really should. You're on board with McConnell now. Remember, yesterday he ended the day on his side after closing the gap down. It was a big 7-8 second gap. He got within 4 seconds of the leaders. He was trying to make a pass on Molly Taylor and just ended the race with a car on the side. He would have been disappointed by that, having signed with the team. But look at the ruts here. Look at the ruts. Wow. 2/10 they're saying to Hansen. Push, close down on McConnell.
Yeah, just thinking about Sainz, they would love a win here. After the disappointment of last year, obviously a new teammate coming in for Fraser McConnell, he would love, after the split yesterday, to pay back the team. Carlos Sainz Sr. is there, he's watching on, he'll like to impress him, I'm sure.
Yeah, my thoughts were, that's exactly where I was going to go with it, is the same thing. That the gap goes up a bit, you see the bad bounce for Hansen coming out the previous corner, and you see Arlen Kotlinski in the background get similar. Just costs you a tenth, but if you keep adding that up to that, now Timmy comes back by 2/10. Gap comes down just a little bit, but they're coming into the switch zone. Yeah, Fraz would love to pick up the win with Laia Sanz. So would Laia after the way the end of last season. What me and Jenny have been discussing a few times off air is the fact there are 5 or 6 teams here who are capable of being in the final at the minute, and that's not to say the other teams won't get there later in the year. As long as each of those top teams misses out here and there, this is going to be an incredibly close championship. So yesterday, for instance, Andretti Autokila, who nearly ran into the back of Fraser McConnell, didn't make it. Today they do. Neil McLaren made it yesterday. Today they haven't. Now, what they've got to hope, the other teams, is they can stop RXR from making all the finals. If we get that split of top teams not quite making the cut, I think it's going to be very, very close this year.
Look, this is a replay. Look how close they're getting. This is the RXR over the top of the crest.
Oh!
Ouch.
That's, yeah, and that's the noise there is not the noise of the suspension landing, so that's a pretty heavy landing. It seems to be okay. I don't think you'd have maintained that pace if there was a major issue with the car. McConnell pulls his comms, pulls all the belts and jumps out the car. He'll run around the other side now and start to help belting on this side for Laia Sanz.
And Johan will have had a good look at that car when it comes in the RXR and just trying to work out, right, is there any damage? What do I need to do to control this and to try and work back up the order?
Did you spot him earlier on today? He ran around the back of the car as he got out and had a little look at it, and knowing Johan, he'll probably have run around the front of the car, which is the normal direction they go, and just checked out the front end. So McConnell had a 1.2-second lead when he came in. He's handing over to Laia Sanz. Timmy Hansen is handing over to Katie Mullings. Arlen Kotlinski to Johan Kristoffersen. So Johan 10.5 seconds back. We have seen him come back from gaps like that before, but I think this track is really hard to make up time on, because it's so fast and sweeping. That's not to say he won't go for it. It's the end of a weekend. There's a few months before the next round. I think it might be send o'clock.
Wow, look at that RXR right at the back of the left.
Yeah, there's contact, look.
Pushing.
There's contact, I love that. There's the chatter again. You see when the car's going slowly, and as soon as you start leaning on it, the suspension will start working. And who else is in? Who's gone in the car as well? I've completely lost myself.
It's Kevin Hansen, Johan Kristoffersen, Katie Mullings and Laia Sanz at the front of this field. Laia Sanz, disappointed last year. They've only won twice in Extreme E history. Andretti won once. Veloce won 3 times, and RXR at the back of this field, wanting to get to the front, have won 9 times. That is what they're contending with. So the race is on. This is round 2. First weekend of Extreme E Season 4. Hopefully, you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. It's been absolutely fantastic. I know Jenny's had a slightly rougher weekend than me, but great to have your voice back. Great to have you back on air, mate. Welcome back.
This is good. This is good.
So we're hearing you're closing. This is good. That's Mullings on Sanz. The gap was 2.5. It's down to 1.5 now. Keep your eyes on the bottom of that screen. Looks like Kevin Hansen has already used his Inoa hyperdrive in his attempt to get the Eon Veloce machine back onto the front too. But this is what I mean about the gap being quite hard to close, Jenny. We're halfway through the first lap, and Johan's only taken 2/10 out of the lead of Katie Mullings. He, of course, is in behind as well, and again, bicycling big time.
That banking is really hard, isn't it? They're looking for some clean air, I'd say, but clean sand.
No, true, yeah, they are.
But
yeah,
actually,
smooth road, and there isn't much out there, particularly these sections here. So that braking zone is only 1 car wide. There's nothing you can do. It's like in a rally when the roads get cut up, you end up just running in on the sump guard. No sumps in these cars, of course, but they still have guards underneath to protect all the electrics and the transmissions. And you get to the point where the car's bottoming out, and you're actually surfing in on that guard at the bottom of the car. And those ruts on that braking zone at the back are really big.
yeah, that's tough, isn't it? Christine GZ, what do you think? What would you say to the drivers right now?
Yeah, I mean, I was out there before, and it was so rutted, and the holes after the jumps were becoming like so big that literally your whole car basically goes in. So I can't even imagine without seeing, with all the sand they get at the back. It's crazy. And also, like you were saying before, they all have so much pace right now. I mean, look at Katie, like, you know, it's just incredible. So the guys are not even kind of making time at the back. It's crazy. It's a beautiful race.
Yeah, it's great to see, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. You think season 1, that gap would have been eaten alive, and now the female drivers are so fast. Travis has said it, everyone who comes into this series is like, wow, the pace is really hot. You've got to be on it absolutely everywhere. Backward said it yesterday about Dania and Keely, said, you know, she's used to driving in the desert. Oh, wow, Katie Munnings skies it. You saw Laia Sanz lift off the throttle, the nose came down. Katie Munnings with the nose up high. So Kevin Hansen and Kristoffersen still in position, 5.5 and 8.4 back. The gap's come down just a little bit, but we are on the final lap now. Inoa Hyperdrive still to deploy for those front two. We've seen them deployed in similar positions, haven't we, to defend before?
Yeah, Munnings is really impressing me this weekend. She just seems to have the bit between the teeth. This is a new car for this weekend after the disaster last time, and she's pushing Laia Sanz all the way. She wants to make her move, and she's lining her up, teeing her up all the time.
Listening to the constant radio encouragement. Look at that, though. In, look, 0.9 behind, and then look at Laia ahead. Look at the ruts here. Look at the ruts here. It's absolutely outrageous how deep they've got. There is no alternate line through there.
Can you use them for anything?
Yeah, you can railroad them a bit. That's the point, is you can lean on them a little bit like you would lean on a snowbank, but it gets to the point where you have no choice of line, and in the narrow stuff, it's going to be very tricky indeed to get a pass done.
Legacy Motor Club at the moment are leading the standings in the Continental Traction Challenge.
That's brilliant.
This is the last chance that anyone's got to snatch those 2 points away. You can bet your bottom dollar that the others will want to stay up the, well...
I think that's it done. Yeah, unless they get it done now as they cross the line coming out of it. I just can't see that the pace is still in the track to do that. They did that in Q1 this morning when it was super smooth. Right, Laia Sanz, Legacy Motor Club do get it. So Pastrana does beat Ekstrom at something this weekend, and it's a great result. Andretti fire up the Inoa Hyperdrive, trying to close down that gap. But it looks like Laia Sanz might just have enough out front. Now she uses hers. Yesterday, the Acciona Sainz machine ended on its side. The end of last season, it ended on its side. This would be brilliant, brilliant redemption for both of them. New signing Fraser McConnell takes the win with last year's champion-elect Laia Sanz. Acciona Sainz get the win from Katie Munnings and Timmy Hansen. A brilliant performance by the Andretti Autokeelit pair, who are very much back on form. Kevin Hansen and Molly Taylor coming home in P3. Fantastic. What a start to the year. We are in for a hell of a season. Here's the result then of the final. P4, RXR, yesterday's winners, 8 seconds back, Kristoffersen and Arlen Kotlinski. P3, Ion Veloce, Molly Taylor and Kevin Hansen. P2, Andretti Autokeelit, Timmy Hansen, and Katie Munnings. And the winners, Fraser McConnell and Laia Sanz for Acciona Sainz.
Congratulations, Acciona Sainz. A win here as Franz puts on his sunglasses. Lara, I'm going to come to you. You had Katie in your mirrors all over the back of the car. What a superb defence. Talk us through it.
Yeah, Katie's been super strong. Congrats to them also. They've been doing a great job. But I think also Fraser and me, yes, all the weekend, we took the revenge a little bit from yesterday. We were with the opposite strategy, so today it works very well. Fraser did an amazing job. I'm also proud about myself, especially in the final. I did some improvement, so happy, especially for the team. After how we finished in Chile, it's so nice to taste the victory feeling.
That was a great start from you as well. Talk us through that.
No, it's incredible. It was a bit of chipping and changing the strategy. You know, so many people were winning the starts from different lines, but you know, in the end, thankfully, big up everybody for making us win the grid play. So we had the choice of all the grids, and you know, I'd started in position 4 twice and wanted to start twice, so I didn't want to overthink it. Went back to the same game plan, and you know, just trusted my instincts, trusted the team, and you know, was able to hand over the car to Laia with some advantage, and you know, she did so incredible to bring it home.
What a debut for you two as a duo for Acciona Sainz. Go and enjoy that podium. Congratulations, first place.
Championship standings for you after round 2 of Extreme E. 41 points for Rosberg X Racing, and in P2 it is Acciona Sainz on 39. 2 points. That is the difference of those 2 qualifying sessions. It was 9 points the gap yesterday, then closed right down. 33 for Ion Veloce with their 2 P3s, 31 for Andretti Autokeelit, 30 for Neil McLaren. Those are the 5 teams which are really in the mix at the moment. Legacy Motor Club, what a brilliant debut. They win 2 points today just for the Continental Traction Challenge, where Ledbetter and Pastrana were absolutely on fire. Sun Mini Meal on 10 equal with JBXE as well, and those teams I know will work hard to get themselves in the mix. Then we're really going to see a scrap on our hands, because you have to have such a good run in qualifying now in Extreme E to get yourself into the final, and then come the final, you've got to throw it down big time. What a brilliant first weekend for Extreme E 2024. We kick off Season 4 in style. It could not be closer between our top teams. Acciona Sainz ended yesterday stranded on their side out on track, and they end today on the top step of the podium, just 2 points behind the reigning champions RXR. We are in for a brilliant season of racing, so we will see you next time.
A big thank you to Saudi Arabia as well as our team.
Oh, huge jump. He's a bit late. He waves at Timo Scheider. Oh, contact between them. Side by side, over the jump. Oh, a little bit of contact up on two wheels for both cars. Hell of a race. Whoa, two wheels, contact. Daniel Akil goes straight over the JBXC machine. Almost on the nose.